Check that out. That's my certificate of training from the Hawthorne Police Department's Ride to Live motorcycle training class. So it's always been a dream of mine to train with the motorcycle police. I think that they are some of the best riders in the world. So to have the opportunity to train with them is once in a lifetime. So when I heard that the Hawthorne Police Department was putting on an all-day training program that was free, I had to sign up. And on top of that, I got to use my own motorcycle. So in this video, I'm going to share my experience from that day. So I've been riding since 2017, but there's definitely some skills that I need to work on. So whether you're a new rider or a more experienced one, I hope you enjoy this video. This video is a little bit longer than usual, but I feel like the motor officers impart so much good knowledge and information that it's worth the watch. Sit back, relax, watch me mess up all day, and enjoy the video. All right guys, we're pulling up to the Ride to Live motorcycle training put on by the Hawthorne Police Department right here under the freeway. Pretty excited to take this class and see where I'm at with my skills and learn some new skills to be safer on the motorcycle. Wow. Hey, no way. Well, let's try it. Welcome to the Hawthorne Police Department's Ride to Live motorcycle training course. After meeting up with everyone in the group of over 20 riders, we split up into 3 groups to go into 3 different training bays. This is the first time I've taken a motorcycle training class since the MSF beginners course, where I used a small 250cc motorcycle. Today, for the first time, I'm using my own motorcycle, which is over 600 pounds. We're lucky to have this entire parking lot closed off just for our training today. That's going to give us plenty of space to practice our maneuvers. Right now, there are 3 different training bays that are set up. We're heading to training bay number 3. Each bay will have exercises designed to teach us essentially the same core concepts. We'll be doing slow speed maneuvers so we can master the friction zone as well as the proper use of our head and eyes.
Everything you're gonna do this first half is the same. Everything. The only thing that's gonna change is the view. Okay? But the exercises, the concept, everything is the exact same. Alright? You're doing a series of right turns at a lockout, left turns at a lockout. Okay? Remember? Head and eyes. So, I'm telling you, that's the hardest part of transitioning from becoming a regular rider to a certain degree, we're professional riders, right? Because we're going through a strict course that you have to pass. They have certain guidelines, and we all went through it, and it's hard. If you've been riding for years, it's hard to get out of those bad habits, right? I can tell you because again, I used to street ride, and riding straight, that's easy, right? It's like riding a bicycle. Anybody can ride straight. The hard part is when you're going slow and you don't want to put your foot down and you're making U-turns like this. And it's bad, especially when you have a badass bike, right? So if I'm making a right turn, I want to go that way. Look back where I want to go. The hard part is not looking at the cones that are going to be in front of you because it's a mind fuck, right?
Motor Officer Nambo just went over one of the concepts that I really struggle with as a rider. I've been riding since 2017 and I know I've picked up some bad habits. One of those bad habits is not looking through the turns properly with my head and eyes. I'm here today to learn how to get through corners safer and of course a little bit faster. And the best way to do that is to come out here in a controlled environment with the motor officers observing your every move. They're going to pinpoint our deficiencies and tell us how to improve them. As riders, we tend to fixate on the very obstacles that we're trying to avoid. As you can see in this perfect demonstration, the key is to keep a high visual horizon and a look where you want to go.
a turn, and it's over here again. Alright, next right turn. This one here, you're gonna line up. Once everybody's gone through, then you're gonna go again.
Now it's our turn, and I'm kind of regretting lining up to be first. And we're gonna have to go through this one way and then come back and do it the other way. And if you know me, I struggle with turning right. Or is it left?
I'm not an ambi-turner. It's a problem I had since I was a baby. I can't turn left.
As you can see, this is a very large space. And this obstacle looked easy. But as I'm doing this, I can see that having these cones and obstacles really starts to play with your mind. And for some reason, you just want to run straight into them. One thing I forgot to mention is that we're not allowed to use the front brake at all. And that's because if you're doing slow speed maneuvers like this and tight turns, if you lock out your front brake, you can tip the bike over or drop it. And that's because you turn with your front wheel, so that makes sense. If you lock that up and you hit like a dirt spot, or you're doing a tight turn and all your weight is on one side, you're increasing your chances of dropping the bike. And I'm used to hovering the front brake, so having my fingers off the front brake and just using throttle control and friction zone is a real challenge with this first run. And on top of that, I'm trying to look the right direction. I'm a little bit nervous, and this whole first section is just a nightmare. It's hard. Okay. I messed that up. Another fundamental concept that's getting drilled into me right now is positioning yourself properly for the turn. I have a tendency to turn a little bit too early. Another thing that I'm struggling with is not giving the bike enough throttle or more power, which is causing the motorcycle to want to tip over and fall. Okay. Oh no. Almost.
What did I say?
Rear brake only. Gotcha.
Alright?
Yes, sir.
Trust me, okay? Just trust me.
Thank you, thank you.
Alright, when you go, try to give it a little more power. It kind of sounds like you're idling. So
Yeah.
make sure you give it a little bit more power, and then just control it with your foot.
Okay. We're good to go now?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm starting to warm up now after a few laps, but there's still a lot of things I need to work on. I accidentally grabbed my front brake on that last run, and this time I need to give it a little bit more power to keep the bike up. As I'm watching this video, I can tell that I'm still looking at the cones. There's moments where I have good use of my head and eyes, but then I always dart back to the obstacles in front of me. I think I'm a little afraid to drop the motorcycle, and I need to start going outside my comfort zone.
I get it, because I'm telling you, I was there, so I understand.
Okay,
Go outside your comfort zone,
gotcha.
alright? If you're gonna drop your bike, or you're gonna fuck up, no better place to fuck up than here.
Gotcha.
You don't want to fuck up out there, because what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
Get hit, right? So do it here. Trust me. It might be embarrassing. Who gives a shit, man? It's better. I can guarantee you, you're a much better rider right now, just now, with the few runs that we did.
Yeah, I feel like it. Yeah.
Like it.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay? So just trust yourself, man. If I'm telling you, go wide. If you go wide, you're gonna make it.
Okay.
Don't question it. And don't fuck those cones. If those cones were there, you're gonna be looking at them.
I ain't trying to go first this time.
Alright, welcome to pad 1. Alright, so I'm Andrew with CHP. This is Isaiah, also with CHP. We also have Dave, I don't know, oh there he is, Sergeant. out of Torrance. So cone pad or pad 1, right? So you guys did 3. 3 is like that kind of like that long slalom cone weave. This pad's a little tricky. We do 3 separate exercises here, right? But you guys are already all nice and warmed up, so you guys should be just fine. All right. So we're gonna start with the first thing. It's our slow cone weave, right? So I'm not gonna touch too much on some of the things that we already talked about, but just to touch up, right? Good clutch and throttle, right? So we're gonna work that friction zone, right? Right where that bike starts to pull, right? Starts to pull forward. You got a little bit of power of that rear wheel. Feathering that throttle, right? You don't want to jam that throttle because then you're gonna, take off on you, or you don't want to use any throttle because then you're coasting. You're not getting any sort of training value from that, right? And your bike might just shut off on you because you don't have no power, right? So good throttle control, good clutch control, right? Also utilizing your rear brake when you need to. Feel like you're going a little too fast, you're making a turn and you're not gonna make it. Tap on that rear brake, it's gonna tighten up your turning radius ever so slightly, right? But it's all you need, okay? Also make sure you stay off that front brake, right? I'm sure they talked about that before, but if you're in the middle of a turn and you jump that front brake, your bike's gonna dive down, you're gonna eat some pavement, right? It's gonna feel bad, but it's gonna look great for us. We're gonna love it, all right? So stay off of that front brake. So this first pattern, we're gonna do slow cone weave, right? Head and eyes, right? Where are we looking? Not staring at the cone, right? We're looking just above that cone line, right? Again, you want to pick up those cones with your peripherals. You want to see where you're going, right? So if you stare at that cone, you can't see anything else. So you're looking up ahead at the roadway, and you're picking up those big cones right there with your peripherals. So we like to look kind of roughly where those palm trees are at, right? You're just kind of staring up at that brick wall over there, that concrete wall. You're just picking up these cones. As you're working your way through the pattern, you're just going to be right in that middle of that friction zone, using your throttle as you're going nice and slow through this cone weave. It's a little bit of a downhill, all right? So again, use that rear brake. When you're on your way this way, you need to slow yourself down.
You don't hear the motor's not racing or anything, it's just kind of a little bit clutch throttle. Now it's pretty easy to really high.
Good job, that went well. You guys look sharp. So now we're going to kind of implement some U-turns. All right, so all the concepts still apply pretty much the whole day, but it's going to sound like a broken record, right? Good clutch and throttle, good head and eyes, using that rear brake. So we have 3 sets of U-turns. First one's about 26 feet, right? Then we go down to about 24, and the last one's about 20 feet. So progressively harder, they get progressively tighter. So we have a couple cones that look different than the others, right? We have the green cones out here. Those are your indicator cones, right? You're not gonna be staring at them, but again, pick them up with your peripherals. You're gonna work your way through this pattern, carry a little bit of speed, right? Not too fast, you don't wanna coast through it, but you don't wanna be crawling through it, because then that's gonna be, now you're just trying to do a balancing act, right? Carry a little bit of speed as you come through the pattern, use your brakes if you need to slow yourself down. Once you get to roughly around that green cone, right? That's gonna be your indicator cone. That's where we're gonna start our turn. So we're riding this way and we're going that way. So where does our head need to be? Yeah, we're looking this way, right? We need to find our exit point, right? You're not looking down at the ground, you're trying to find your exit. Now, yes, exactly. So when you turn, you get your head and eyes around, what happens to your upper body, right? You get your head and eyes around, you put that chin right on your shoulder, your upper body's gonna want to start going with you. You get that head and eyes around. If you're not looking all the way around, then yeah, you can just do this. But once you really start to look, right, your upper body's going to want to go with you, and that bike's going to want to follow you, right? So that's kind of the trick with it, right? So you're going to get your head and eyes around, find your exit point.
Look what happens when he looks at a cone. He's looking at it, his head's not turned around. Now he turns his head and pulls it off. These orange things, when you look at them, they're like giant magnets. It just draws you right to it. I put it the same as like if you're in a red light and you're splitting traffic. Like if I look at a mirror, I get drawn right towards the mirror. Now watch what he does this time. He goes all the way to the right, turns his head early, how much room he's got. He's got 5 feet clearance. So use all your real estate, go as far as you can over there. It's so dusty out here. I'm sure Andrew talked about how slippery it is. But I try to put my tire right up against that green cone.
Almost. I'll do it again. I'll do it again. Yep.
It's very doable.
Almost, almost.
So what you're doing is when you're going, you're starting your turn really early. Your bike will get away with doing all the work is right here, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Really little throttle. So kind of work your way to the outside edge of that gray area and set your handlebars early. So get your head nice around and start your turn. The thing is with these bikes, if you don't have your bars locked, you're not gonna make it.
That's it, huh?
Yeah. So these bikes, you need to get your handlebars locked early, and then you start your lean. And once you feel like it's going down, work that clutch on the outside so you can stand back up a little bit. Now you're just doing that gas with the clutch and throttle while you're full lock.
Okay.
So it just takes practice on that. You're not gonna get it right away.
Yeah.
That's the way you do it. You just gotta implement it now.
All right.
You need the reps.
Let's do it. Ah, shit.
So you see, when you do have your handlebars, you see you can make it.
Yeah.
Bars are locked, it's doable, but now you just gotta be able to control that with your throttle.
All the way through.
Foot down. So it's very doable, right? So you can see you still have about 6 inches on that side.
Yeah.
It's very doable to make it, but you just gotta be able to feather that throttle a little bit. Right? You gotta smooth that out.
All right.
Right?
Cool.
So, and all that is muscle memory. You just gotta get the reps in.
Gotcha.
Good job, man.
Thank you. Okay.
Let the bike do the work for you.
It's all your room. You got a ton of room. Ton of room on your right side. Still got about a foot to your right. You got a ton. Right here, get your tire on there. Yes. Very
A little better. Thank you.
In your first circle, the left one, you had a lot more speed. It made it a lot easier. And you still had about that much room before the color was on your right side. When you transitioned, you slowed down.
Yeah.
Well, you know what it is? Everyone's got a favorite side.
Yeah.
People say, I like my left because my clutch is right here. Out here, it feels funny. I'm like that. I tend to actually do better on my right because I have to apply all the correct principles.
Yeah.
This is the hardest pad, but you have the best instructors here. So the difference in this pad to that pad is you're going to make a U-turn into a handlebar transition, into another U-turn, into a handlebar transition, into another U-turn. I'll go over everything. I'll demo it. We'll get you through it, okay? It sounds harder than it is. I want to reiterate and go over the friction point. Hopefully somebody has already gone over with you, but I want to go over it and simplify it for you, okay? So for all this slow speed shit that we're doing, and then when you're going out on rides, other places, all this comes into play, okay? All this slow speed stuff. Hey, that throttle hand, okay? That's a little bit higher than idle. Take that hand out of the equation. You don't need to be revving it, okay? When you start revving it, when you're doing slow speed shit, you have a tendency to pop the clutch, okay? Both of which we don't want to do, okay? You don't want to pop the clutch and be like this, and then you have to hit the brake and you're going back and forth, all right? So simplify it. The second hand, your clutch hand, your most important hand when you're doing slow speed stuff, okay? Wrap your minds around this movement, okay? You're engaged, disengaged, okay? Look how little movement that is. Engaged, disengaged. What that means is I don't want you to pull that clutch all the way in, okay? Right? When you have that clutch all the way in, and you're like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, you're starting to lean the bike, you have a tendency to just say, screw it and pop the clutch. Okay, again, we don't want you to pop the clutch. So you're mashing on that brake, right? So simplify it. Again, when you have your handlebar locked and you're not paying attention, you're not looking, you have that throttle hand higher than idle, and you're leaving that alone, right? This hand, simplify your clutch hand. All you're doing, hey, I've got my power, I need to take some away, here. Okay, I need more power, I'm gonna give it some, here. That's all it is. You're just touching on that throttle hand, all right? You're controlling the power with that clutch hand, okay? Third part of that friction point is your brake, your rear brake, okay? No front brake anytime you're at slow speed, okay? And that goes for anywhere, okay? Take that front brake, don't even cover that brake. Because we get surprised by some dummy walking out in front of you, what are you gonna do? Covering that brake, you're gonna squeeze it, okay? You squeeze that brake, you get in a habit of squeezing that front brake at slow speed, okay? You know, you see shit like this, the little silty mud, you know, from the rains that's out there. You don't really kind of quite comprehend it, but like for me, I know what it does, okay? I'm not gonna go pull my front brake in that, especially if you're leaning at all. Take that front brake out of your hand, okay? That rear brake, the last part of that friction point, we're not married to that rear brake, okay? We're not mashing that thing, okay? We're not doing this to stop, okay? Hey, just push on it. Right? It's the same for when you're actually doing braking later on. You're just pushing on it, okay? You're not mashing it. Head and eyes, the most important part of riding, okay? We only have 2 wheels, guys. We don't have 4 wheels and airbags around us, okay? So, maintain that high visual horizon at all times. We're constantly scanning, doing surface appraisal. Why? Because if we run something over, we're fucked. Okay, potential bad situation. If you're on the freeway, potential fatal situation. Okay, constantly scanning. I know a lot of us have phones on our bikes. Okay, looking around a long ride, we're getting bored. Okay, well that's where shit happens. Okay, we're constantly scanning. I'm looking way ahead of me. Okay, way ahead of me. I want to see something happening way up there. I want to be able to react. I want to be able to stop in time. I want to be able to get out of the way in time. Okay.
So this is 27 feet. There's no rock, there's no fucking debris, there's no mud, there's nothing. Right? You guys all made 26, so you'll be able to make 27. The problem is when people go through this, they're literally saying, don't, and they're looking down. When you're making a U-turn, it's an exaggerated head movement. And I do that because I want you to see what happens when I'm turning my head and eyes to the left. My chin is going to be perpendicular in line with my, we'll all get to do this, will be in line with my shoulder. It's an exaggerated head movement. I'm almost like reaching up. Well, that's not far enough. Look, see, it's all the way back here. What do you want me to do? Ready? One more time. Ready? 1, 2, 3. There you go. See? All right. 2 things I want you to pay attention to. The first thing is going to be his head and eyes. Watch his head and eyes turn before his handlebars do. Second, listen to his RPMs. His RPMs actually starts going up before the turn and during the turn. That means power before you turn and during your turn. All right? First time you go through this, you're going to make 2 U-turns. You're going to do just like he did. Come out wide, aim towards that green cone. Look at his head. You move before his handlebars. Who's that guy who said it committed late? Right? So commit early. Turn your head and eyes first, then your handlebars will follow. You guys hear his RPMs? When we talk about power is a combination of gas and clutch. So he gets his RPM slightly higher because he's giving a gas input and he's engaging his clutch. That's a warm-up. Then we're going to do the whole thing. Again, you go out wide, go towards the green marker, and watch this. He's going to hold it. He's going to come all the way towards me. Touch. Right? He's going to come all the way towards me. All the way towards me.
First attempt at the 3rd and final course. It's kind of like a series of U-turns, kind of like a clover leaf pattern. Yes, sir. I did.
Started to creep a little bit, all right? But you made it through. Good job.
Thank you. Okay.
Kind of just idling through.
Yeah.
Just in case. Right?
Okay. Thank you.
Your best run yet.
Let's do it.
All those cones down there, those are called gates, okay? Each gate is 36 feet apart, all right? As we approach the gates, we want to keep, like in the morning, a high visual horizon, okay? We don't want to look at the cone because if we do, what's going to happen?
Hit him.
Huh?
Hit him.
You're gonna hit it, right? So if you hit the cone, technically, right, real world, you were just involved in a collision. Luckily for us, this is a controlled environment. Those cones will just pop out. Just keep on doing what you're doing, okay? Focus on where you're at.
So we're about to dodge these cones. We're not supposed to use the front or rear brake, and we're supposed to maintain a speed of at least 15 miles per hour. And it should look like a little slalom. This will be fun. All right, not so bad. That's probably one of my stronger points is dodging things. Tracking our speed. Yeah, it's really cool seeing everyone improve with each round. Everyone's going a little bit faster and moving a little bit smoother. I spoke too soon. He hit a cone. But still, everyone's doing such a great job.
Because I was riding in the carpool lane and this dude just came from the on-ramp and I look at him and he's like right next to me.
Oh, man.
So with my left foot, I pushed down on my peg.
And then just boom.
The bike out from under me this way and wham, I was able to swerve to the left.
Man.
So when we do that accident avoidance, I use my feet. I kind of think of myself as like a pendulum.
Right.
Head stays here and my lower body is doing like the moving with my legs. So I push down on my peg and it gets the bike to get out from under me. It's
Gotcha.
really good to like on the dime, you can just get out.
Yeah,
So,
that's great.
yeah. This morning, we combined it into one massive pattern, right? So it looks a little intimidating, but realistically, just taking it one step at a time, right? We're just linking together all the U-turns. So instead of just doing one U-turn and out, we're linking together like 4 or 5 in a row. So all it is work on your consistency, right? So let's walk in this pattern, let's talk about it. Nothing really changes from this morning, all right? So you're gonna enter the pattern, relatively decent speed, right? If you're going a little too fast, use your brakes, scrub off a little bit of speed. We still have our indicator cone there, right? The green cone. So once you get there, we're gonna do a U-turn just like last time, right? Come up to your cone, head nice around, looking for your exit point. Get your handlebars around, lean that motorcycle, work that friction zone. A little bit of power, power, power as you go into your turn. Get that bike to stand back up. Now, walk with me, and let's stand right here. This is what I want you to look at. Now, this was our exit point, right? We were looking right out here, looking at that pillar. We used to just ride off. Now we got to make a little bit of an alteration. Instead of going straight, we are now going for this big yellow cone, right? Think of it, it's kind of like a teardrop, right? A teardrop of a turn, or like a figure 8, as we call it, right? So instead of riding straight, straightening out, we're going to continue having our turning input on our steering, and we're going to continue going into that direction. So we're going to continue riding, and we're going to beeline it for this cone, right? Because what we're doing is we're setting up for our next turn, right? This is where we run into some problems, and you guys will see it because one of you guys will do it and it'll feel a little weird, but it's still doable. The problem is you want to get as close to this cone as possible because just like this one, utilize all your room, right? It's only easier for you. The more room you give yourself here, the easier the turn is. Some people will start their turn right here just because they had a pretty sloppy first turn, or there's a head and eyes are in the wrong place, they're going a little too hot, they'll start their turn here. You just made this 24 foot into a 22 foot for no reason, right? So now you're just working harder. It's doable, but you're gonna have to work for it, right? So no need to do that. Make it easier on yourself. Come as deep as you can into this little corner and use all this real estate. Look, you have a ton of room to play here, right? So get nice and deep into that corner, use all your real estate, and everything else you're just rinsing and repeating, right? Good U-turn, your head and eyes are up. Instead of riding straight, we're riding to our target cone, our green cone, right? Same thing.
Alright, it's a little sloppy.
short. When you're ready to turn, just go 1,001, then turn. Just pause a second.
That's right, okay.
Almost. Hey, no way. Son of a bitch, son of a bitch. Sit down here. Not bad.
Emergency braking. In motor school, we call this a 40 decel. Why? Because we're going 40 miles per hour and we have to decelerate as quickly as possible because it's an emergency situation. Here, you're not going to get to 40, you're going to get to 35, and that's it.
An important and life-saving skill that we need to have as motorcyclists is the ability to bring the motorcycle to a dead stop in an emergency situation. For the last drill of the day, that's exactly what we're practicing: emergency braking. Now, unfortunately, since this is the last exercise of the day, all my batteries were dead, and I didn't get to record myself on the GoPro.
You guys notice his front end come down? Okay?
You're holding it. You're not off and on. You're holding it. The brake is compressing, and then when you come to your stop, then the brake's going to come back up. That's what you want to happen. But if it does start sliding, release and gently and firmly reapply. Gently. You don't want a big handful.
In this series of drills, we worked our way up to bringing our motorcycle to a dead stop from 40 miles per hour. But we started from 20 miles per hour, then to 25, and then to 30, so we did it in increments. For the first couple of runs, we were only allowed to use the front brake. We had to use all 4 fingers and apply the front brake smoothly with gradually increasing force. When executed properly, the front suspension compresses due to forward motion and friction from the brakes. The action forces the contact patch of the tire to increase into the pavement. There are 3 actions that need to happen pretty smoothly when coming to an emergency stop. You don't want to stall out, so the first thing you need to do is pull in that clutch. 2 is to apply your front brake smoothly with that gradually increasing force. But don't forget about that rear brake. Once you've mastered the front brake application and getting the full stopping power out of it, start practicing by adding both brakes together. Keep in mind that your front suspension should dive forward if you're doing this properly. Good upright posture and maintaining a high visual horizon will help you keep the bike balanced and up while you perform this. And don't panic if you lock the brakes and start skidding. Slowly release the brake and then gradually reapply. The final step is very important because when you're in an emergency situation, you're not going to be in a parking lot like this. And once you come to a complete stop, you need to check your surroundings and be ready to get out the way in case someone's about to come crashing into you. That's why you need to drop the gears all the way to first, and that's why your clutch is pulled in so you don't stall out and you're ready to dodge any oncoming traffic from the back or any hazardous situations around you. I would definitely recommend practicing emergency stopping on a regular basis so that it becomes muscle memory. These 3 actions have to happen pretty quickly and without thinking. You gotta pull in the clutch, you have to apply the brakes, you have to stay upright, and you have to make sure that you drop it to first gear so you can dodge anything about to hit you.
Alright, so that's it. That's our ride to live. For those of you guys, this is your first time. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah. Thank you. For those of you who did it multiple times, I hope you enjoyed it just as much as the first time.
I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I want to give a big thank you to the motor officers involved in the Ride to Live training class. Keep in mind that this class was free, and not only did they teach us life-saving motorcycle skills, they fed us donuts in the morning, we had pizza for lunch. We were also sent home with free first aid kits to keep in our saddlebags. We were also taught how to use the tourniquet and how to stop the bleed if you're ever involved in an accident or run across another rider who's been involved in an accident.
30 days riding. 30 days.
All right, guys, that is a wrap. Just finished the Ride to Live motorcycle course here at the Hawthorne Police Department. Learned so much today, and it's the first time I got to test out these skills on my own bike. So looking forward to taking more classes like this. And once again, thank you to Beachside Moto and the Hawthorne Police Department for giving this life-saving course and teaching us these valuable skills to stay safe on the motorcycle. If you're new to riding motorcycles, or even if you're an advanced rider, I would definitely recommend taking a course and always staying on top of your skills. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.